Simplifying expressions. 4x plus 5 is an example of an expression, and an expression is different than an equation because it does not have an equal sign. In this expression, there are two terms, 4x and 5. The 4x is our variable term. It has a variable, and that variable is being multiplied by the number 4. And that number 4 is called a coefficient. We also have this term, the 5. That 5 is called a constant, and a constant does not have a variable. Now, when we're simplifying expressions, the first thing that we need to do is use the distributive property. This means that we multiply the term on the outside of the parentheses by each term on the inside. First example, all positive numbers. This is the easiest example. First, we multiply 4 times x, and then we multiply 4 times 8. 4 times x is just written as 4x, and then 4 times 8 is 32. So we have 4x plus 32. It gets a little bit more error prone when we start including negatives. So negative 5 times 2x is a negative times a positive. We're multiplying those coefficients. Negative 5 times positive 2 is negative 10x. Then we have negative 5 times negative 4. A negative times a negative is a positive. So we have negative 10x plus 20. Final example, negative 2 times x gives me negative 2x. And then a negative times a positive, negative 2 times positive 1 is minus 2. You could also write this as negative 2x plus negative 2. The second thing we need to do is combine like terms. Like terms have the same variables and the same exponents. Combining like terms means we add or subtract the coefficients, but we leave the variables and the exponents unchanged. In this first example, we have one pair of like terms. Negative x and 8x are like terms. Now, by combining like terms, we need to add those coefficients, and this negative x has an invisible coefficient, of negative 1. So negative 1x plus 8x is just 7x. And then 9 does not have any like term that it needs to be combined with, so my simplified expression is just 7x plus 9. Next example, I have two pairs of like terms. I have 1 and negative 3, as well as negative 2x minus 4x. 1 minus 3 is just negative 2. And then negative 2x minus 4x, that's the same as negative 2x plus negative 4x, which is negative 6x. You could also write this as negative 2 plus negative 6x. Now, we generally write the variable term first, so the preferred way to write this would be negative 6x minus 2. In a more complicated expression, we need to use the distributive property first. So here we need to multiply x minus 3 times negative 5 first. So negative 5 times x is negative 5x. And then negative 5 times negative 3 is plus 15. We can't forget about this minus 2x. So now that we've used the distributive property, we need to combine like terms. Negative 5x minus 2x is negative 7x. And then we include the plus 15 in our final simplified expression. Second example, really common to want to add first. No, distributive property before we worry about this negative 10. Negative 10 plus 2 times x is negative 10 plus 2x. And then 2 times negative 1 is either plus negative 2x or minus 2. Since I want my variable term to be first, I'll go ahead and write that 2x first. And then I need to combine my negative 10 and my negative 2. So my final simplified expression is 2x minus 12, which I could also write as 2x plus negative 12. Now, if I'm faced with an equation rather than an expression, I'm going to use everything we've just talked about to first simplify both the left-hand side expression and the right-hand side expression before solving. This means I will have lots and lots of practice simplifying expressions when I am solving equations in algebra.